What's up, guys? Welcome back to Truly Me. It's been so long since I've done a podcast. There's been so much going on, and I'm going to catch you guys up a little bit on what's been going on with me, with LBK, and why we haven't been doing so many podcasts. But I'm excited to jump into this video today. We're going to talk about what is a lash artist versus what is a lash tech. Maybe you're in between. How do you become more of a lash artist? How do you define yourself between the two, and how do you set goals to become better and do better? So we're going to talk about that today. Before we jump into that, though, a couple things. We are doing some trainings, and we're going to be heading to New York City in January for a volume group training class. This will be my last group training that I travel to until probably mid next year. I'm going to take maternity leave after January. So this is the last group volume training that we're doing in a different state. I still, however, will be doing group volume trainings here in California. We're located in Irvine, California. So we have some dates available on our website. You guys can check it out there. We also will be heading to IBS this year, which we're super excited about. It's the first year we're going to a trade show. We were actually supposed to do it in 2020, but because of COVID, it got obviously canceled. So we will be at 2021 trade show, you guys. Make sure you guys check us out. We'll be posting about it, what booth we're going to be at, all that good stuff. So exciting stuff. Also, to add to the training note, we're going to be doing online training, and we're going to be launching that hopefully at the beginning of the year. So stay tuned for online training courses. Stoked on that. All right, let's jump into this podcast video. Also, guys, we're at the end of 2020. It literally went by so fast to me, but what a crazy year, right? I think it's just been so challenging for us as lash artists, and just in general for, how much life has changed and how much we've had to kind of evolve into like the new normal. So if you are excited for 2021, give this video a big thumbs up, guys. We're really excited for it. We have a lot in store, and it's just a fresh start. So let's jump into the new year, becoming better, doing better. And that's kind of what this video is about today. It's not really to make you discouraged, but to encourage you to take the next step in your career, to define yourself a little more, and really just to set yourself apart from every other person lashing. Like, what makes you different? That's so important to understand, to know your purpose, to know your goal, and then to achieve it. So, by the way, I literally can't breathe because I'm pregnant as shit, so bear with me during this podcast, okay? All right, so what triggered this video for me was actually I was in a training. I was training, it was a private one-on-one, and I had the lady that I was training, we were going over the lash mapping style portion of the class. And by the way, we're going to have a whole course, online course on styling and mapping, which I literally am so excited about. I always say that styling and mapping is like literally a class in itself. It is so complex and so deep that it almost needs like a whole series. So it's going to be a 4-day series, and we're going to launch that at the beginning of the year as well. But it'll go into different styles, different techniques, different eye shapes, literally everything you can think of. So stay tuned for that. But let's go back to this, okay? So I'm going through the portion of the styling class, and she says to me, she goes, I've been getting my lashes done for years, and no one's ever said to me, this is the style you should get because, okay? She said that she literally would go in and the lady would just do whatever. She said she had 2 different experiences. She said the first one, the lady told her, just whatever she wants. If she wants a cat eye, if she wants a doll eye, whatever, right? And then she said she had another experience where it was literally like the same thing, except it was on, like paper, where they would choose, okay, I want this. Like, it's like if you're going to a nail salon, you're like, okay, I want this color, this shape. The problem with that is is that every single person's eye shape is different. So if you, as a lash tech or artist, whatever you define yourself as, and I think that this will kind of help you decide, okay, am I an artist or am I just a lash tech? Am I creating for my clients or am I just doing whatever they want? There's a huge difference, you guys, and you guys need to understand the difference between the two. One doesn't make you better than the other, but what it does is it levels you to a different level, okay? If you can understand eye shape, the length of lashes, what curl is going to look best on which client, this changes the game for you because it brings value. And people pay for value. People want value. That's literally, the more valuable you are, the more you're worth, okay? So what we're trying to do is help you guys to bring more value to your service, okay? So if you struggle with lash mapping, if you struggle with proper isolation, if you struggle with lashing in general, time to take another course, guys. Time to invest into your business. It's time to really take things seriously because that's what's going to define you from a lash artist versus a lash tech. Okay, you want to be a lash artist, and having an eye for it takes time. So like, you're not going to come out of your first training and be like, okay, I know everything about lashing. No, it takes time. It takes classes. It takes education. And all of this stuff is going to help you be better in the future, okay? So she says to me, I taught her the difference between a cat eye, a doll eye, and a tapered cat eye. Okay, now those are like the basics that we go through in a private class. And we go over different lash lengths, which curl looks good on which eye, all of these different variants, right? And she says, I've never been offered that. No one's ever said to me, your eye shape is this, and this is the style that's going to look good on you. She says, they've always just said, do you want a doll eye, cat eye, or tapered cat eye? And she says, you know, and now that I know this, now that I know the proper styling and mapping, now when I look at the lashes on my eye, I realize it's not the right lash map for the shape of my eye. And so I said to her, I think a lot of lash techs don't know the difference either. And it's not your guys' fault. It's you just aren't educated yet. So I think it's really important to understand, am I an artist or am I just doing this to make money? Right? Because if you're just doing this to make money, you're going to do whatever on anybody because it's just about the money to you. But if you truly understood money and you truly understood value, you would know that understanding and taking more classes and educating yourself and leveling yourself up is only going to make you more money. Okay? So and this plays another role in, how many people are you lashing a day? Are you one of those lash artists who is doing 5, 6, 7, 8 to 10 people a day, which is outrageous? If you're doing that, you need to realize you're not working at your full potential. There's no way that you guys are lashing 100%, that you're giving every client 100% when you're doing that many clients a day. It's just not realistic. There's not enough time in the day to lash 100% of your lashes and to give each client the quality that they deserve when you're working that quickly. That's just the bottom line. There's no way around it, okay? So what you guys need to do is sit down and figure out, okay, I might be doing 10 clients a day at this price, but what if I do 4 clients a day? I give them 100% of my work, 100% of my effort, and I charge more per client because you're valuing yourself at a higher level. You're putting more time and effort into your sets, which then turns around and your sets are a lot better, a lot cleaner. I think there's a rush on certain lash techs or artists out there that they feel like they need to do a set in X amount of time, in 2 hours. That's so unrealistic. That's never going to happen. I mean, you're doing it, but you're half-assing your work. there's one thing that I never ever did, and I never rushed my work. And I think when people ask me like, how do you do a full set? How do you get so many lashes done? The thing that defines me from another lash tech is the effort and the time that I put into my lash sets. It's so important, you guys. Slow down. Really take the time to understand your client's eye, your client's, face shape, the arch of their eyebrow, which is the highest point on someone's face. Super important technique and super important thing to know when you're lashing. So that's truly the only thing that separated me from every other lash artist or lash tech in my area, my competition, if you would say. Okay, there's a reason why people would come to me and sit in my chair for 4 to 6 hours versus going down the street and paying, $60 to $100 for a set and getting out of there in an hour or two. There's a difference, and it's quality and it's value. And during that time, even though it took me so much longer to get through sets, I learned so much about lashing. I learned so much about styling and mapping. I learned so much about myself as a lash artist. How long does it take me to do a set? Truly, 100% of the lashes. And it also taught me how to value myself, how much I should be charging, how much feels, how much am I worth, okay? How much effort am I putting into these sets? And that's why it's so important to remember that lashing is a luxury, guys, okay? It should always be valued at more. If we start to become lash techs and everybody can do it, right? Like we train Sally. Sally goes home. She starts lashing. Sally trains Jan. Jan goes and starts lashing. It's like, where is the value? Where do we value ourselves in the industry, okay? Lashing is something that takes a lot of effort, a lot of practice, a lot of time. That's why if someone comes in to train, and I always ask them, are you doing this full time? Or is this like a part-time gig, kind of side hustle thing? Like, what's your avenue here? What are we taking? If they don't commit to this full time, there's no point in coming and taking a class and investing your money into it, okay? First of all, it's not cheap. Second, this is not something that is to be done as a side hustle. This is something that you invest full time in. This is an industry, again, guys, that you could be making over $100K a year if you value yourself correctly, okay? And the way to value yourself is based off your work, your education, okay? How in tuned are you into what you're doing? Because if this is just a side hustle, you do it to make a couple extra bucks, then you're not a lash artist. You're a lash tech, okay? Now, if this is something that you go into full force every day, you're educating yourself, you're taking classes, you're taking styling classes, you're understanding the structure and anatomy on someone's face, then you are a lash artist, okay? You're investing into this. This is something that you're excited about. Like, there is a true difference between just an artist and just a tech, okay? It's like when you go get your nails done, right? You can go to any nail salon, ask for dip, ask for gel, and you can get it, right? And there's nothing special about it. But then there's certain there's certain nail techs or nail artists out there that can do these like crazy long nails. Like, there's a difference between the two, right? One, obviously you pay 40, 60, 50 bucks for, and you get what you get. And then there's these ones who do all these crazy like extra nails, but you're paying, $100 for it. So where do you want to be? There's levels to this, and you have to decide, do you want to be a lash artist or do you want to be a lash tech? Do you want to make money in this game, or do you want to just sail through and just be like everybody else, right? You want to stand out. There's a reason you're watching this video. You want to know, are you a lash artist or are you a lash tech? How do you become better? Educate yourselves, guys. Follow people that you are inspired by. And it's not just about being able to style and map. That's a huge part of it. You go to lash studio and they give you an option. Do you want doll eye, cat eye? Do you want, I don't even know what they offer there, but do you want D curl, C curl, CC curl? It's like every curl, not every curl looks good on any person. If someone comes in with super curly natural lashes, they don't know that they shouldn't be putting on a curly lash. They don't know that they should have, a certain curl because their lashes are a certain way. They don't know that. So you as a lash artist need to be the one to say, okay, let's look at your lashes. Let's decide what's the best style for you. What's the best length for your eye? Length is such a huge thing because if we're putting too long, it's going to cause retention issues. It's going to cause damage. There's a list of reasons why there's different curls, lengths, diameters, because there's different eye shapes and different lashes on every single person. Or else we just have one of one and everybody would get the same thing. But there's a difference because we are lash artists. We are here to style, you guys. We are here to create. We're here to push boundaries but still follow the basic rules, so that we don't cause damage. Okay? So I think it's really important, you guys, to value yourselves higher, educate yourselves, be different than your average lash tech, okay? Stand out, make a presence of yourself, really focus on your craft and your work, be different. It's so important to be different. People will follow and people will go where there's value, where, there's hype, where there's creativity, where they go and they're like, oh my God, that is good work. That's not just the basic person. So stand out, guys. Really be invested in this as a lash artist. If you want to become better and do better, you got to be better. Okay. All right. So I don't want to get too much into mapping and styling because we're going to have a whole series on it where you guys can learn the difference between almond eyes, big eyes, small eyes, different lash curls, what styles look good on certain people, what styles don't look good on certain people, who's a candidate for lashes, who's not a candidate for lashes, who should be getting mega volume versus who should be getting regular volume. Like there's so much to it that it needs a whole course. So stay tuned for the course, guys. It's coming. We're so excited about it. We're going to put a lot of effort into it so that it's in depth, so that you guys walk away from this course understanding and knowing who you are, how to become better, how to implement it into your career, and how to offer something higher and better for your clientele so that it values you at a higher level and we all win. All right, guys? Okay, thank you guys so much for tuning in to today's podcast. If it was helpful, make sure you guys share this podcast. Like the video if you're on YouTube watching us, and we'll be back with more podcasts. Love you guys.